Lee's Logbook.
Hey guys, this isn't like a normal video or anything. This is more just sort of, sort of like a soapbox type thing. I don't know. I was thinking about it today, and I kind of just wanted to make a video talking about it because I wanted to know what other people thought, right? I wanted to know other people's points of view of Pokemon, but more specifically, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. And I think this is kind of an important conversation to have because what I've been seeing is that, you know, a lot of people that talk about it, they're either completely for it or they're completely against it. There doesn't seem to be a middle ground when it comes to Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee and whether or not it is a good thing or even a good game. Already there are many prejudgments, but the thing is, you know, they're not prejudgments that are totally without merit. Some of them might be, but a lot of the ones that I've seen, they at least have a base in something, right? Like, you know, no wild battles. That's kind of a disappointing thing. No hold items. That's also kind of strange. You know, there's a lot of things that make Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee a lot different than the main series game, in which it is definitely emulating. I don't think it's trying to be a main series game, of course, because they've already said that this is a spin-off, and it's not meant to be exactly like a normal Pokemon game, but it is definitely emulating that feeling, right? It's still the Kanto region, you're still getting a starter, you're still traveling, collecting badges, and I would assume beating the Elite Four and beating the game. So where do I stand on this? But personally, I really am in that middle ground because there are things about Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee that I see as disappointing. I think there was a lot of potential for it. I think there was a lot of potential for it, and I don't think any of that potential was necessarily squandered, but I think they could have given us more than what they did. But I also came to a realization that I think is kind of the most important and sort of the major reason for me making this video. And the realization is simple. Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee is not being made for someone like me. Now, what do I mean by that? I don't mean it's not being made for adults and that it's being made for kids. I mean, honestly, Pokemon is made for anyone and everyone, and that's a belief that I hold near and dear to my heart, and I don't think that belief will go anywhere, ever. I think all ages can find something to enjoy about these games. Excuse me. What I mean by that is I've been playing Pokemon since I started playing video games. I've been playing Pokemon for 20 years. And as such an avid and old fan of this series, I know that this game isn't being made for someone that has been and will continue to be on board with this series forever. I don't think I'll ever stop playing Pokemon. I don't know about you, but I love these games too much to ever stop playing them or ever grow out of them. But that's not what I was trying to... It pretty much... So, it's not being made for someone like me, right? The old fan. Or even... I mean, even a fan that, like, plays the games currently and has played the games since... Like, anyone. They don't even have to have played the game for 20 years. If they started playing video games and started playing Pokemon And from then until now, they've continued to play Pokemon and just ingest Pokemon-related media of all types, then that's this game. It's not being made for you. I think the more I think about it, I think this game is being made for two groups of people. One, I think, more so than the other. But I'll talk about the first group. I'll talk about this first group first. And the first group that I'm thinking about are the ones who have nostalgia for the first generation, have only played the first generation, maybe. They are happy to look at this and say, oh, hey, it's going to be in 3D graphics, it's going to be on the Switch, it's going to look great. And I will give them that. This game does look great. I really do like, the bright colors and the textures, the atmosphere, the Pokemon models and the character models. They all look great. It's all on the Switch. It's higher fidelity than we've ever had before, and I think it's a step. It's a step in the right direction as far as looks go. And so I could say, I could see an old fan looking at this, wanting to relive their childhood or just sort of have that feeling of nostalgia, and they're excited to return to the Kanto region. And so I think that this game is definitely being made for those people, right? For people who maybe haven't familiarized themselves with Pokemon in a very long time, and see this and harken back to old memories and want to experience it again, which could potentially make them into staying fans, right? That's but the other group, the other group that I think this game is trying to talk to, and maybe even more so than the nostalgic crowd, is the Pokemon Go crowd. And I don't mean the Pokemon Go crowd that plays Go, but also plays the other Pokemon games. Even though it busts my mind wide open to think about this, there are people who have only experienced Pokemon Go and no other medium of Pokemon. They have never played another Pokemon game. And Pokemon Go might have been their gateway to it, and potentially they still haven't picked up another Pokemon game. Let's Go is a really good transitional game in that sense. It can bring a person who's familiar with Go's gameplay and sort of get them in the line of thinking for a main series game like Gen 8, which comes out next year. You see where I'm going with this? So I think that's who this game is most geared towards. And I don't know how large that group is, but potentially it's huge. I have no idea. I dropped off with Go a little while back. It has been a very long time since I've played that game. There wasn't enough to hold me to it. But I mean, I've heard as it's gone on that it's gotten better, and maybe I'll go back. Who knows? I mean, I might as well go back to get Meltan, since I think that's going to be the only way that you can capture that Pokemon, and then you could send it to Let's Go. And by then, I think Bank should be on the Switch. Maybe, I don't know. We'll have to see if we'll be able to Pokemon Bank our Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee Pokemon. And if we can, then yeah, then we can bring all those Pokemon that we got in Go and bring them to Gen 8, which will be super, super exciting next year. But what got me thinking on these terms was, as I thought about it more, I realized that there is a lot when it comes to Pokemon that I kind of take for granted. And by that I mean there's a lot in Pokemon that is just second nature to me now, but that's not how it always was. And I tend to forget that, right? I tend to forget that everything that is so second nature when playing Pokemon games for me is not that way for tons of other people that have never played these games before. And when you look at it that way, the game becomes a lot more complex. There's a lot of complexities to a Pokemon game that you don't realize are complexities until you think about them more. It goes a lot deeper than type advantages and type disadvantages, right? There are hundreds and hundreds of different Pokemon to keep track of. And not only that, each one of them has particular stats and are good at doing certain things. And there is also, the matter of differing between special attacks and physical attacks, and that seems so simple and so second nature, but as someone who has never played a game like this, or a Pokemon game to begin with, they wouldn't really know that. It doesn't just, happen, right? They don't just know that. They have to learn that. And so there's sort of this need, and I think Game Freak saw the potential in that. I think they saw the potential in having these players that don't know the series as well, having these players join the community, the larger community as a whole, right? In order to get them to join that community, what they needed was sort of a transitional game, if you will, a game that has aspects of Go, but also has aspects of the normal game, and that fusion between the two. I think that's sort of their way of saying, okay, let's gear you guys up for what comes next, which is the full game, which is Gen 8, which is happening next year. And so it's sort of like they are building towards a bigger and better Pokemon community. Because let's be honest, the larger the Pokemon community gets, the better it will be. We want more people to play this game because we want to continue playing this game. And it's not like this game will be going anywhere, right? But it's always nice to want to build, right? To never feel stagnant, or to never, stop trying to achieve bigger and better things. And I think that's where Game Freak is at right now. They want to achieve even bigger and even better things, and even things beyond Pokemon. They've kind of started to show us that, especially with this new town game that's coming out, which is a completely new project, all helmed by Game Freak. And I'm interested to see, where that goes. But I think honestly, the thing that I'm just most trying to say is that even if Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee are not your thing, right? That their purpose is pivotal to the evolution of the Pokemon community as a whole, and that should stand as important to everyone in the Pokemon community, no matter their personal views on this game. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I feel like this video, definitely different than what I normally do. Sort of rambly. I'm sorry about that. It wasn't scripted. I just kind of sat down and wanted to talk to you guys about this. um, to hear your thoughts. What do you think? Do you get where I'm coming from? Am I completely wrong? I don't know. I could be. These are just my own personal views. It's not like they're factual or anything. I'm not Game Freak. I don't know what they're thinking. I suppose I'm just trying to think in terms of how they might be thinking. On the Let's Go series, or are you excited about it? Are you not excited about it? Let me know. Let me know. Talk to me. And as always, I will see you guys next time in a more normal video, I promise.